610 WTVN.
Let's jump over to the LegacyRetirementGroup.com phone line and check in with our Dallas attorney, Jeremy Rosenthal. Jeremy, you ready for you stay up late tonight? Are you a Cowboys guy or a Texans guy?
Oh, well, look, we have battered spouse syndrome here in Dallas. I'm a Cowboys fan. We're like citizens of North Korea here. We wait for the great one to pass on to the next world and just pray that his son is more wise and more merciful. And that's what we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we could spend, if you want to, lay on the therapy couch and talk about it for a while, I'm willing to listen. I'll send you a bill, but you're not. That's not anything strange to you.
We have a lot of sports. We have a lot of sports PTSD in Dallas. Although when you trade Luka Doncic, the NBA fixes in, and then you get the number one pick. That can happen. The Cavs know about that when Braun left.
Indeed,
right?
Indeed. I think he had about a 2% chance of getting that first pick. And hey, if you're an NHL guy, I don't know if you are. Dallas Stars, I think they won last night, so they're sitting in the catbird seat there in the playoffs. So.
That's right. We got it going on.
We're here to talk a couple of legal stories. The big one this morning, Jeremy Rosenthal, Dallas, Texas attorney. The Menendez brothers, they are now eligible for parole. They changed their sentence from life without parole to 50 years to life. So your reaction when you heard that?
It's been a long journey for these men. And I mean, they've been in the news a lot over the last year or so. We've learned so much more about the lasting legacies and cycles of sexual abuse. And now they may not get out of jail. They may not get granted parole. And they may get granted parole in 5 years or 10 years. But they presented a lot of mitigating evidence that proved that they were sex abuse survivors, if you will. Now, they committed heinous murders. One of the deputies who came and saw the bodies and saw the crime scene said that the father was essentially decapitated because of the shotgun blasts to his head. So these are very, very heinous crimes, but great chance that these men walk free this year in 2025. That can happen.
That's wild. And they've been model citizens according to every report. They have done created programs in prison to help other prisoners out, and the likelihood of them committing another crime or a violent crime very, very low. So the fact that they are sex abuse victims, and that came out way later, it did not come out in the 80s and the 90s when they were on trial. So that it doesn't justify what they did, but if that information, and I'm just spitballing, if that information was out there during the original trial, I guess the thought is that the sentence might have been a little bit lighter, and they didn't have the without parole part attached to it.
Right. A couple things going on here with this. So look, these guys are going to do 35 years in the joint at least. And when you are a sex abuse survivor, a victim, however you want to call it, when you go through what they went through, a lot of juries are going to say, yeah, we'll go ahead and call this even here. Okay. Now there was one of the things that functionally happened here was that California passed a new law probably 10 or 15 years ago, which made it in most instances mandatory for a youthful offender to be parole eligible. They didn't fit into that category, and that's sort of what they retrofitted here. They gave them a new sentencing hearing, and basically the judge sort of backtracked and tucked them under this new provision. So part of it was a change in California criminal justice, if you will, but there was a whole lot of political wrangling over this. It was a big topic in the Los Angeles district attorney's race last year. This was a big political football. Gavin Newsom has stuck his head in here. And so we'll see kind of where it goes. But you would think that these guys are, again, they may not make parole their first time out. It may take several times. Now it's up to a committee to decide this. Yay, right? There's your reward, right? A committee gets to think about this. So, I mean, it's not a sure thing, but this was a good day in them for court. for sure.
Jeremy Rosenthal, Texas attorney. You can find him at texasdefensefirm.com, by the way. I'm going to put you on the spot, something maybe you didn't know is coming, a little bit of a curveball here. We had a story.
I love it. I love it.
We had a story here in Columbus. Former Ohio State wrestler, guy's name is Kyle Schneider. He is an Olympic gold medal winner, right? He's won world championships. He's won NCAA championships as a wrestler from Ohio State. It's been a number of years. I think he was in the 2016 Olympics, gold medal there. He was just arrested in a prostitution sting. He made the connection with an undercover officer. They went up to the hotel room. They started the negotiation process. That's when the uniformed officers came in and busted him on the prostitution charge. So my question is there a fine line between a sting operation and entrapment? What is the difference there?
Okay, so first off, he's innocent for no other reason than he went to Ohio State. If this was a Penn State guy, okay, or if he was a Michigan, right? Guy, don't you guys? That's T-Sun, right? The school up north, right? If he was there, whatever, lock him up, throw away the key. Who cares? The difference between entrapment and a sting is that entrapment, the government has to essentially bend your fingers backwards to commit the crime. Giving somebody an opportunity to commit a crime is different than bending their fingers backwards. The law school example is you're walking by a house and you see a ladder to a second-story window that is wide open. Is that entrapment, or am I just providing you the opportunity to go up and burglarize the house, right? It's when the government comes in and when you have an agent who comes in and says, we've got all these things on you, and if you don't go and try to sell these drugs, we're going to try to do this to you. And sometimes, believe it or not, law enforcement can get way too cute with these things, and that would be entrapment. So if they pressured him to do this in some overt way, other than giving him the opportunity, then he could have that. But I believe he is completely innocent, again, for no other reason than he's a Buckeye. And he's American. We presume innocence. Right?
He's a gold medal winner. I mean, let's give him a break.
Yes, right? American hero, right? And this is the world's oldest profession, too. Okay, right? I mean,
I would imagine that law enforcement has to have their I's dotted and T's crossed going into these quote unquote sting operations. So they are by the book. So, I would assume Mr. Snyder will have a fantastic defense attorney and make sure that the police did nothing wrong in this situation.
What you see, and I'll tell you this, is in these cases in the 21st century, you get a big, long text chain. So you will definitely know what was being talked about and the ideas being passed back and forth. And sometimes you got to read them through your fingers, or sometimes they make even great first page copy, depending on what there is. But yeah. You tend to have law enforcement gets a lot of training on these things, and you tend to have a really clear idea.
Yeah, I appreciate that perspective. Jeremy Rosenthal, TexasDefenseFirm.com. Another kind of wild card this morning. Pete Rose, Hall of Fame, yes or no?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, look, thank you. Glad they waited till he was dead, right? I mean, that's pretty meaningful for the guy. Look, I mean, you've got all these performance enhancing drugs. You've got all of these records that have been stolen. And these people, and I don't know that there's a prohibition against Mark McGwire. Now, that guy probably in my book should never be a Hall of Famer, right? But Major League Baseball never came out and said you couldn't. Pete Rose, his records are legitimate, and the hit total was legitimate. He's a bonehead, and he went to prison in his real life for being a bonehead. And no, we can't have gambling in sports. And look, now sports are partnering with these companies for gambling. So yeah, put him in.
Very good. Hey, I love the fact that we talked about nothing that we planned to talk about this morning. So we'll just throw the script out the window. I appreciate your ability to pivot, man. All right, find him. If you get in trouble in Texas, we got a guy for you. It's TexasDefenseFirm.com. Jeremy Rosenthal, have a great rest of your week, brother. We'll talk again soon.
You too. Bye-bye.